Oh, I made Pam home. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. It's been a little bit since I've been on, but I wanted to welcome everyone. You found your way to the Sacred Wisdom Circle, linked by the golden thread. We are lighthouses, beacons of truth, guiding the way. Oh, I feel that so deeply today. Through deep conversations, shared wisdom, we illuminate a path and heal through truth for you to find your way and for others as well. So welcome. I'm so excited to be here. Feels like
It's
it's
so
been
good to
forever.
have you. Yeah,
It
it's so
feels
good to have
like
you back.
forever. It is good to have everyone back, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Can't stay for the entire episode, but I'm just excited to be here with all of you and hear about what's going on, what's new.
Oh,
Yeah.
lots going on.
Go, go,
Go ahead,
share.
Janice. Go ahead, Janice.
Oh,
I'm
no,
about
no, no, no.
I'm
I
about
don't.
to sneeze.
So I'm just putting my microphone on because I'm about to sneeze.
No. Okay, Pam, go.
Okay, so what's going on? I am going to be launching in the next month my membership program. It's emotional mastery membership program. It's a 12-month program where people will be coming in and we are going to go through emotions every month and gain clarity and an understanding so that you can step into your authentic self. I also have for November my Sacred Reset experience, which is a 5-day intensive down in the Dominican where people can actually do an intensive dive into healing and transformation, spiritual healing and transformation, emotional healing and transformation. So everything is lining up beautifully, and it's so exciting.
Yay! You were like November, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I remembered it's an in-person event. I'm like, it's not, we're only like March.
No,
So,
it's in
yay, that's
person.
super exciting.
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm thrilled. So the new website with Divine Whispers will finally be up. It's been a work in progress, life getting in the way for both myself and the person who's developing it for me, but it's coming along and we're so aligned. Like she's going to be able to capture the essence of everything. So it's going to be wonderful.
Yay!
Yay.
And that's going to be up on the website to get
Oh, it's
access to
all
your
going to be
retreat.
on the website. Yep.
Okay, and a
Everything's going to
time
be there.
frame so people can start looking for it.
It is November 1st to the 13th, November 1st to the 6th. So it's 5 days. There's also going to be another one on the 8th to the 13th. So 2 back-to-back
Fabulous.
weeks. And for hosting for up to 8 people. So,
Amazing.
yes.
And when can people get access to it? To like book?
I'm hoping in the next month.
Okay, perfect.
So it's as soon as the website is up, you guys will hear all about it.
Yay! Excellent. Just giving us a time frame so we can have people keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exciting.
That is.
Yes.
Yay. Very exciting. Yeah.
Anything else? Anything
Okay.
else?
Yeah, I go. I'll go. I'll go. Okay. So, oh my gosh, the abundant joy, prosperity, or I can't even say it. The abundant joy path to prosperity is my next program. And oh my gosh, we've been doing this joy frequency experiment and having so much fun in that. You guys, I have a wait list now for paintings. So right through the summer, I will be busy painting for customers. So has been part of the results from intentionally stepping into that joy, prosperity. And so my program is kind of all focused on that. We've got our retreat the end of August. If you want to come to the mountains in Jasper,
Maybe.
that's where we are. We're just
Oh my God,
yeah,
God.
yeah. So we're in a beautiful log cabin, lodge, I should say, not cabin, a lodge in the mountains. We're very close to Jasper, and it's called Mystics in the Mountains. And it is all about, you know, the creative mystic within you and accessing her and calming and joy. And we have horses there. There'll be a little bit of horse therapy going on, communing with them. It's a year of the horse, right? We got to have the
Yes.
horses there. Yeah, and
I'm sad. I looked sad because I'm like, oh, I really want to go now.
I know, I'm so excited.
I want to go to both of them.
Right? I know. November is perfect time to get away.
Mhm.
And so is
August to
August.
November. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
look at that.
this is the end of August, the very last weekend of August. So anyways, that's happening and let me see, I'm writing my book. I had a meeting with my publisher yesterday and so that's going really well. It's like deep diving into that as well as painting, running this program. It's been so much fun. And one of the things I want to talk about today is the fact that even though there's craziness going on out there, there are people thriving and having fun,
Mhm.
and we get to choose. So, yeah, Angela and Alana, you tell us what's happening first before we dive into it.
So lots happening in fact, Alana, you want to go first because I know you're on a bit of a time crunch, and then I can go after you.
No, it's all good. I'm excited. I want to chat a little bit anyway, but thank you. So I just released today, well, I guess it was last night, was our a collaborative book that I'm part of. So this is actually the second time I'm now a two-time published author. I know Janice, you've got at least one, right? You have
I've
one
got a
already?
couple, yeah.
A couple, yeah, at least a couple. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But we just launched last night. It's available as an ebook on Amazon. Currently, it's 100 Women Who Lead, and it's actually the third volume of this type of collaboration. And I'm really excited. My chapter specifically is on leadership as a return to source. So it speaks about the moment that most of us experience when we realize that we built no longer reflects who we truly are, and what does that look like where we step into that doorway of transformation moving forward from there. And that also that is two things that connect to that. So spirituality amplified, the platform we're creating is getting some movement and momentum, and there's an opportunity if you're a spiritual entrepreneur to connect with us there. We're creating that beautiful platform. But also, like you mentioned as well, Pam, I also have a group that's going, that's really about helping women rediscover themselves in that same kind of rediscovering that light of themselves and their so that their life reflects who they truly are, like I mentioned. And it's about reclaiming your power, your truth, and stepping into your gifts. So yeah, that's what's going on with me.
Wow. Congratulations on the book.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you. I'm super
amazing,
excited.
amazing, amazing. Lots happening. But lots, it's like underneath, like underneath the ground happening where it feels like a whole lot of this whole mycelial root structure is actually growing underneath it, but underneath the work that I'm doing. But what's really, really significant for me is working with sacred geometry and alchemy. And so the path is very interesting and how everything is unfolding just in line with the Fibonacci numbers and with the golden
Mhm.
mean. And so where I'm being led is, so I did in February, we did Alchemy of Purpose. Now I'm being led to put out Alchemy of Purpose for Business, and that's for small businesses. And then from there, the Alchemist Apprentice, where we're going to be training up facilitators to actually take on the work. So it's going to actually move away from me, and it can actually then be set up with other people to actually go out and do the work. So I can get busy on all the other stuff that needs to get done. So that's been one lot of stuff that's happening. And then my higher power is also possibly opening up a door. And this is not, when I say possibly, I'm in the moment, I'm not future tripping. I have a call with a client, a potential client at a call center on the coast. Their numbers have gone from 10,000 to 60,000 people. Um, and what we're taking or what I'm presenting to them is the whole question of choice and choices from a strategic level, leadership level to a ground staff level. So we're going to go in proposing to do a pilot because to go in without to 60,000 people run off without piloting it, without knowing what's going on in terms of the organization would be sheer madness for them and for us. So that's a big meeting coming up at the end of March. And the reason why I say that is the pathway there and the preparation for that has just been mind blowing in terms of how we can, just by slight tweaks and slight changes, we can still take the spiritual message into organizations without it seemingly being woo woo.
Mhm.
And
and how the process aligns people, the organization and people, and creates this authenticity in a space where people can actually thrive instead of just show up for however long they show up. Because turnover and stuff like that in call centers is awful. And a lot of
Oh,
call
yeah.
centers take an enormous amount of abuse. And so it's going to be really cool to see. And the guy who we had our initial meeting with was so astute and so switched on and so connected already. We presented a few things and he said he wants to see the choices stuff first. So let's see where that goes. So
That's exciting.
I'm putting that in my God box. And
That's awesome.
I'm feeling really, I'll tell you what I'm feeling really good at. And I think this is something, and I'm sure each of you also experiences that, coming home to the value and to my truth and the value that I actually add out into the world. And not from an egotistical point of view, just to see the way that people respond in themselves to the work that we get to do. It's not about us. And I think we've spoken about that often on our calls. It's not about us. It's about holding the space for people to do that inner work themselves. I have a friend slash client who repurposed one, or not repurposed, but republished one of his Conversations That Matter podcast. And he's been sending it out to people. And all of a sudden, in the last day, he's had 11 people listen to his podcast. And he's had some amazing feedback in terms of what he shared about himself. And so what I want to also put out to the community, as well as to each, I know, Alana, we've done one, but I need to do another one because the energy shifted and changed. So I'd like to invite each one of you to have a Conversations That Matter with me on our podcast, so we can set that up. That would be amazing. So that's starting to happen. Substack's happening. I've actually was astonished today. I looked, I published 71 posts to Substack. It's like, whoa. So that's been a lot of fun as well. So quietly moving along, the river's flowing, and we'll see where it all goes and takes me. So thanks for listening. It's been a lot of fun.
And what I'm seeing as a bit of a theme here is that we are moving beyond the woo-woo, right?
Mhm.
It's being able to present to people who are stepping into this world, and that's even with my program. It's worded, and the language is in a way that it's real. It's real and about real life. It's not about woo-woo in any capacity. And I think
Yep.
that is really a lovely shift that is happening for many people. I think us, we're showing examples of that, but I do believe it's happening a lot of other places as well.
Mhm.
It was, no, it was interesting. I was doing some research this morning, and people like Gandhi had come up, Martin Luther King had come up, Nelson Mandela, all of those key figures in history, predominantly men, and we know that because that was loaded in their favor. And that's not a sexist comment, that's just the way that the energy was. But each one of them and how they took a different aspect of spirituality into the way in which they moved and changed the world. And I think one of the core ingredients for me for all of them was the humility that they went out into the world with. That was huge for me. To just
Yes.
see that. Mm.
Hmm. So Janice, you were talking about energy. Let's talk about it.
Sorry, who?
Janice,
You.
me.
Oh, okay. I
Right.
wasn't
You
sure.
said we'll wait, we'll talk, we'll
I
share, and
was
then we'll get back to that.
Yeah, I was dwelling in those thoughts of
Oh, sorry.
humility, and that really is about the higher consciousness. And as you move into more self-awareness growth, you become more and more humble, because everybody's journey, there is no one right path. Everybody's journey is unique and special and unfolding. And that's something that I was writing about in my book. Is like, I'm going to give you some really great information of how to take leaps forward, but your journey will be your journey.
Mhm.
And but yeah, what was it that I was saying? Oh, how some people are thriving through, and I think
Mhm.
we need to just wake up to this, because this is an incredibly powerful time for all of us to be getting super clear about what it is that we want and move forward in it. There's enough out there about the rising costs of everything and the
Mm.
war and, everything else that's like pushing down on us, but there are also so many people that are thriving and
Mhm.
having fun and putting their gifts out there, and it's not a let's wait until this ends because, that energy of waiting is really a damper.
Mhm.
That energy of waiting of like, well, I'm just gonna ride out this storm. When everything gets normal again, I'm going to go forward. It's like, well,
Yeah.
sorry, but it's not gonna get normal again.
Now's the time. Like, literally,
Yeah.
this is the there isn't, like you said, it's not going back to normal. It's going to continue to be chaos and falling apart and all of the things until it does. And then it's going to be different.
Yes. And the
It's going to erupt and then it'll be different.
and
It's
the,
never going to be.
moving forward and bringing what you have for the world is, first of all, that's what we need in order to create the new world and vision in the new world, the new earth. But also, wow, what growth there's going to be for you. Like, what fast pace catapulting forward growth you're going to receive in your own life for you as you step up in these times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the process is happening much quicker for people than
Mm-hmm.
for our if I think back to myself,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
wasn't quick, but it was steady. And it was because that's how it had to be in order to bring some
Yep.
wisdom to the world. And if everybody, became awakened or into their awareness at the same time, the world would be pandemonium. Everything is divinely orchestrated and it is happening as it is meant to happen. And whatever you have bringing to the table, those of you who are watching, it's step into it with unapologetic authenticity.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because
And
that call
get
is from your heart, and that's the call from the divine to say it's your turn.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And also, whenever we are going through massive shifts and changes, which we've been through many times in history, the question, what is normal? What is normal? I mean, it's it's so arbitrary because everything is always constantly changing.
Yeah.
And and it's about our willingness to adapt to the changes as opposed to bemoan the changes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's also, for me, one of the things that's been really key in navigating our way through all of this change is about integrating and not rejecting those sides of ourselves that perhaps we don't like that much. One of the ones I discovered a little while ago was the martyr energy connected to the work, having worked on and with this stuff for so long and not being financially as stable as I would like to be. And that kind of, bring out the violins and have the whole martyrdom and the shift, the integration of that martyr shifts into stewardship.
Hmm.
And that's what we get to is we get to steward joy, we get to steward abundance, we get to steward all of these aspects that are being brought into our life when we live more and more in our truth. And for me, again, I don't believe that it's what's normal, it's what's true. And when we can stay with what is true, that's when we really start to see the significance of the shift within ourselves and then externally as we carry it out into the world. So that was kind of my take on normal. But yeah, and the joy
And
of
it's
living with
changing the language,
very much so. It's exciting.
Alana.
changing the language,
I,
right?
as we sit here, there's something that's been stewing in the back of my mind over the last.
I sorry,
Ooh, go ahead, Pam.
Oh, we lost her.
be stuck.
Uh-oh.
It's
Good.
that element of changing our language,
Mhm.
right? Changing the language because normal is an old paradigm. It's an
Yep.
old construct. We're stepping into a forward thinking construct, right? Present and forward thinking. And so it's really looking at the language that we're using. How we speak to ourselves is so important in this process. Not just what we think about, not just what we're focused on, but how are we actually talking to ourselves as well?
Mm.
Thank you. Sorry, Alana, go ahead.
No, 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 it's all good. I'm actually like some of that conversation has led me in a different direction in my brain. So I was talking to somebody this morning that like it feels like there's something that's been circling my brain for the last like or my awareness, not my brain, circling my awareness of something I wanted to do over the last week. And it was literally like just part of this conversation, it's kind of landing. So that's where I'm like, I feel like I'm a little out there, but something's landing and I haven't quite put all the pieces together. But as we're talking, it's like, oh, this. It's like an opportunity, not a challenge or a workshop. It's an opportunity for people to do exactly what we're talking about and stepping into it and like and be supported through that. So that's what's kind of coming through for me. And because like you said, it there needs to be, I am so passionate about like with spirituality amplified, I'm so passionate about the fact that we are because of what's going on. And I'll share a little vision of what I had earlier last week, I think. There's chaos, there's heaviness, there's this stuff that's like happening. And we know it's gonna come to a culmination of some sort of eruption of something and reshaking and reshaping of what we are currently doing. So like you said, it won't be normal. But what I truly feel is those of us that are in this space need to come together in a bigger impact. And that's what spirituality amplified is opening up an opportunity for. Is to come together because I see it as like I think I've shared it with you ladies before, almost like this light worker. I keep avoiding the word army because again, that's old language, but like a line of and I called it spiritual warriors at one point, but the other vision that came in the other day was like basically Care Bears. Of like the Care Bear stare and like letting all of our light just shine and being like unapologetically, boldly that version. And it's like, how can we step into that more is kind of the like, is what's circling my awareness. Is like, how can we support people moving into that in a much more bolder way? Because we do need, it doesn't, like you said, Pam, it's not about being woo anymore. It's about moving into who we're meant to be. And there's so many empaths in the world right now. And it's like I was talking with somebody the other day, and I'm sorry, I'm probably taking this off on a totally side tangent. But I was talking to somebody else the other day, and she's like, she felt bad because she wanted to get rid of the empath within her because it's been such a burden. And it's like,
Oh,
no, there's a reason for it. And it felt like a burden. But there's hope in it. And it does feel like a burden because in my mind, like empaths and light workers bring in some of that heaviness and we process it and shine the light out. Kind of like the tree does for carbon dioxide and oxygen. And so there's a lot of people that are feeling that. That we've been in this space and have been doing and struggling, like you said, Angela, the heaviness of like finances and everything else. And we need to steward that better and being an empath and being a light worker and like because anybody that's in the consciousness space is and it's how can we steward that better, and I think that's what's kind of circling my awareness right now is like moving into that and being
I think
allowed
one of the
to be
things that we,
supported.
we don't we don't talk enough about for people who are stepping into this space. We don't talk enough about protecting yourself as you open it up.
Exactly.
And that's again that empath that goes out of balance is because she's not protecting herself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we had that
it's all
conversation.
she's either absorbing it all or she's giving it all out. And so many people are doing that. And so spiritual
Exactly.
protection is really, really important for people who are, I mean, it's something that is part of my practice. But it's for those of you who are really stepping into this space and starting to open up to work with things like Archangel Michael's sword, to work with things like silver and golden armor of protection, to surround yourself with that kind of protection, placing it in each one of your chakras, particularly if you're going into a difficult conversation or a difficult energy. And those are the kinds of things that I don't know that we do enough around when we have these conversations too. And it's not about a damper or anything. It's just making sure that you're not opening yourself up to either releasing too much energy and feeling then completely depleted, or alternatively that you're drawing in energy that you don't want to have part of um, your energy field. So protection, and if you we can talk about it more on maybe another podcast, but or another session. But yeah, even if you're just surrounding yourself and put yourself in a silver bubble, that's more than not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
And then
Protection and discernment, which I
Mhm.
know
yeah,
we've talked about before. Really
yeah,
pay attention to what your body is telling you when it comes to the people that you're connecting with. Learning to trust in that. We learn to trust in our intuition implicitly to help us to survive. Now it's shifting it so that we can trust in that intuition to thrive and succeed and allow the people, the circumstances to support us, to show up and us know that it's safe,
Mhm.
right? So the protection and the discernment together make all the difference when we're early on, but it's learning to get there. So yeah, I think that would be a great topic in one of our next podcasts, maybe even the next one or our next conversation.
Yeah. When we think about that, I learned something from a beautiful lady, Sunny. I'm trying to remember what her last name was. But, we do this like, okay, put this protective bubble or blanket around you and go out there. And it does not seem to work for a lot of people. But what does work, instead of going out and feeling like, okay, I got to protect myself from other people, because you really can't. Energy is energy, it's going to move
Mhm.
through you. But what I can do is I can control my own energy. I can turn my hands this way and start to go, okay, well, where am I in control of my energy? And for me, it's very much, I was just writing that down. I was thinking, I'm going to do a masterclass on the force of one, because it really is about coming back into being that tuning fork rather than the sponge. It's
Yeah.
coming back into, well, I don't have control over anyone else's energy, but I do have control over my own. And
Mhm.
I can stand in my power, because when I am in my power, nothing can hurt me, nothing can get to me. And so it's about coming back into that core of being tuned in and being grounded to the earth and being grounded, up into the source of all that is, and standing
And
strong
know
in
that
that
you will be
channel.
protected. And know
Sorry?
that you will be protected.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
that knowing,
absolutely. Yeah.
right? And that's because you're right. I think we are shifting more to that because for so long it was about putting the bubbles up. It was about the external. I mean, part
Hmm.
and parcel of our learning, I think, goes through these stages, right, to get to this knowing place.
Yeah.
So for
Yes.
anyone watching, the bubble may work for a little while. The being a mirror might work for a little while, but there will come a point where it's that internalization. I love that what you said, Janice, the power, the force of one. It all
Yeah.
starts here. No different than Mahatma Gandhi's quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. I love that man. I love the messaging that he brought to the world. I live by it. It's that whole element of being able to be that
Yeah.
and trust in yourself and trust and know you are protected just by the very nature of being a soul and a human on this earth.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, beautiful.
I
And
was
when
just
we
gonna say.
talk about protection, we're talking about energetic protection, not
Mhm.
physical,
Yeah.
because there's that discernment too that needs to be, looked at, like Angela was saying, like there's a difference there. So, but the energetic protection is like, like you're a lamp radiating light, and no one can hit that light. They can't get it. That's who you are. But the physical protection needs more discernment. Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think too
and I
is
think
that sorry.
go ahead, Donna.
I was just gonna say, like, another way of looking at it too is, as opposed to a bubble and, I read and I can't remember the book, not very long ago, but it was more about putting on it was easier to put on, like, a cape or a shawl or like, something that's kinda covering, but you can choose when to take it on and put it on and take it off,
Mhm.
versus it being, like you said, a complete armor or a resistance is allowing that and then it's like the other piece to it is that there's still flow. Like, so you can choose when the stuff comes through and when you can choose when it doesn't.
For me, I think it's and I'm agreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you with
No,
anything
yeah.
that it's saying. I think it's also being aware of the fact that we all have auric fields, and auric fields
Mhm.
come and bump into each other. And there are people who experience some really severe impacts of auric fields that bump against theirs. And so, and I agree also the fact that it evolves into the higher our consciousness evolves, there's a different mechanism. There's still protection, but it's a different way of protecting. And I think for me, particularly for people who are new to this, those are the kinds of things. Okay, it doesn't matter. I used to at one point envisage a tin of silver paint being poured over my head, and or else wearing like a lycra gym suit that was all silver.
Love
And
it.
if so, those kinds of things work for you as you're starting to awaken, that's important because otherwise there's kind of energies that start coming. And this again, there's no fear around any of this. There's energies that you become susceptible to because you're too open and not
Mm.
guarding, and particularly the solar plexus, the chakra underneath the rib cage, and the heart chakra, and even the sacral chakra, the bottom one just before the root. Those three are very vulnerable to people's energies. And it's just making sure that you take it. It's part of self-care. It's part of taking care of ourselves, is to make sure that we are taking care of our auric fields and our energy fields as well.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, Janice, what I like about what you were saying is that it's my responsibility to take care of me. And that's one of the ways in which I take care of myself.
Mhm.
And a
Mhm.
great movie that exemplifies this, if anybody wants to physically see something, it's an old movie, but it's called The Celestine Prophecy, and it does a really good job of showing people's energies and how they interconnect. So it
Yeah.
really is a good visual to kind of hit it home for those of you that need that visual tool.
Yeah. And that's something that, like, I have a funny story around that. As we are changing, as humanity is changing and consciousness is changing, we're becoming more and more aware of each other's energies, which is why you can't lie to people because truth is the strongest frequency, but
Mhm.
people will feel what it is that you're hiding. I was at work once several years ago, many years ago, actually. And I was just walking past this man. And as I walked past him, I was going to the photocopier. And as I walked past him in my own head, all of a sudden, ding, he's having an affair with her. It's like, what? Like, I
Ah.
just, and it was there. I'm like,
Ah.
so it's funny. It's like our energies just I felt it, and he was on his way to go see this woman in the other room, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they're having a thing." And so it was such a wake-up call for me of like, "Wow, we gotta clean our own act up, right? We
Mhm.
gotta have clean, clear energy, we gotta be in integrity." Because the more the consciousness raises, the more people feel your energy, and
Yep.
they know when you're telling the truth and when they're not. And this thing about how sloppy we have been about that over the years, meaning, like, when you walk into a room with a friend and you're having a great day and then they're not, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Ugh."
Mhm.
And so that's like you matching up to them rather than you being able to sit across from them, hold space for them, and not be impacted at all. And that is absolutely possible.
Yeah. It does take work though.
It does. It takes awareness and presence, because as soon as you feel that bump up against your energy, that's the moment you go, okay, wait a minute. I'm putting up those like
Yeah.
beautiful and glowing energy light, and I'm choosing not to go there because
That's
that's not
not
going to
mine.
help that person, which is the same as out there in the world. We're not helping those people that are out there in the front lines of what is changing and what is going on by being in fear or being like stuck to your screen going, "Oh my god, look what's happening. Oh my god, oh my god." It's like, "No, do your work."
Yeah.
Well, and like Pam, you said earlier, it's that discernment of because that's one of the strongest things I find whenever we're in that, like you said, you bump up against these energies. And sometimes as an empath, like we mentioned earlier, it is hard and difficult to discern the difference when you come across something or someone and you're like, ooh, this feels funny. And it takes a minute to go, is this mine? Did I cause, because it's so easy when you've been in the habit or have never been taught or never practiced having that separation and being able to differentiate between yours and theirs. And but it does take time and some work, but it's possible through practice. The more we practice it, the more we implement just that awareness and the discernment of who is this mine? And if it feels like you or something that you've created, like you will allow your intuition to guide you and discern. And then sometimes it's like, oh, nope, that's not mine. You can feel it fairly easily. Some of them are pretty easy, but again, it's just a matter of practicing. And the more you practice it, the easier it'll
Yep,
become. So keep practicing
yep.
it.
And,
I had
and one
such
of the things, to, sorry, just to add to that, is if you're in a family and your child is what appears to be like a mirror image of you, it's even harder to do that. And I'm hearing that there's more and more families that are experiencing that. And the language that has been used is, oh my God, she's just like me, right? We're one and the same. It's really important for people to be able to say, no, she has her own journey. And what exactly am I projecting from my journey onto this child? Because it happens for both, for growth. So there's
yeah.
no good or bad about it, but I'm finding that more families are experiencing that kind of thing. So it's not just out in the world. In your family dynamic, you're going to have things that are the energies are going to rub and they're not going to rub in a real good way. It's really taking that step back and looking at it and going, okay, what is mine? What is theirs? And being clear with that child, you are your own person.
All
It
right.
was
Bye,
so
Alana.
Bye,
it was
Luna.
so it's so interesting to I had this meeting that I went on about 10 days ago for this call center down at the end of the month. One of the gentlemen involved, I'd never met him. I have been told about him quite often about by one of my business colleagues, and my solar plexus, just him talking about it, my solar plexus was going crazy. Well, when I saw him on the meeting and I looked at this man, God bless him. When I looked at this man's face, I could see exactly why. Janice, you talk about picking up stuff. I could see exactly why his and my energy just does not connect. Um, doesn't make me right, doesn't make him right, or me wrong, or he wrong. But just being so attuned to those energies that we resonate with versus ones that we don't, and the ones that we don't, that we send light to. But it was just so, going back to what Alana has just been saying, it was so almost visceral in the sense of before I'd even seen this gentleman's face and then seeing him a bit later on, just that complete, and that's what we need to be listening to. Because before, on my own journey, many, many years ago, I would have gone into people pleasing. I would have gone into how can I kind of connect with this person? What can I get out of that? Because it's a business relationship, and all of that narrative and story would have been something that I would have followed many years ago, not anymore. And just, I think, Pam, you nailed it. I think, again, we talked about it before, but discernment is such a key, key, key skill for us to develop in the work and in the spaces that we work in. And being discerning about what we take on, what we don't take on, what we release, and what we hold to ourselves as well. I'm finding that it's probably awareness and discernment are probably two of the most critical, if we want to talk at fifth dimensional skills that we need to be developing.
Mhm.
And joy.
Mhm.
And of course, joy.
And presents. Uh, yeah, that reminded me of I was just listening to Lee Harris last night. I keep getting snippets of his stuff. I can't seem to get the time to listen to it all, but he was talking about how, people seem to think that heart coherence means heart opening all the time to everyone. And he said, absolutely not. He actually practices closing his heart, which is interesting. I keep mine in my channel, but I wondered if people were interpreting that as being like, oh, the wide open heart. But like he's like, no, I do not practice sending love out to somebody that has intentionally hurt me, punched me 5 times. Like that's not what you're doing, right? So I think that's part of that discernment. But that just kind of popped in as you were talking, Angela, that you don't have to be wide open, all loving to everyone. You stay in love in your heart, and that begins with you loving yourself. And
And
loving
and I
yourself means
and
clear
Janice
boundaries.
and
Mhm.
that Janice is I think fairly accurate. I take it a step further. That's just me. And where I'm at is understanding that those people who have hurt me are wounded. They're coming from
Oh,
their
yeah.
wounds, and wounded
Yeah.
people need the love more. So I'm more apt to actually send loving energy to that person. It doesn't mean that I have to entertain what's going on or connect with them physically, but intentionally because of the work that I do and have done. And I think it's for me important that I'm sending that wounded person energy. I could get caught up in the story of how they've hurt me, but this is also where I've learned to take responsibility. Well, why did I have to go to that story of hurt? Right? Because that story of hurt is a narrative of my own.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
and I think
Holding
there's
people
a
accountable and saying, "Hey, that really impacted me. You know what? I'm just gonna, you know, take some time to myself." That's very different. You're communicating your truth, right? And being clear with someone else, how they receive that is on them. So it's
yes.
it's just a
Yeah.
little bit different approach, and hopefully
Well, I
that
love
helps
that.
other people understand.
Yeah, I love that
Okay.
because that is then like that next step of forgiveness, right? Of healing and then forgiveness because the forgiveness is for you, not necessarily for them.
Yep. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I think I think it's definitely in there too. I agree.
I've had
And it's
a
a
very
practice
interesting.
for sure.
Sorry, Pamela.
Go ahead, Angela. No, go ahead.
I've had a very interesting relationship with a friend slash mentee kind of relationship for about 4 years, and she has quite a difficult personality and very kind of dogmatic and very much this is the way that this is the way it goes her way and not any other way. And I was reflecting on that with my mentor yesterday, and the interesting thing that came up for me was linking to what you're saying, Pamela, is that I stood back and I could see what an incredibly valuable teacher she's been for me because I'm standing more and more and more in my truth. I'm standing more and more and voicing my truth and not being afraid to voice my truth anymore. Um, and it's quite interesting to see as she is coming up against my energy, how she's digging her heels in even more. And again, that's not on me. That's where she's at. Doesn't again make me right or wrong or the other way around. It's around being able to, and it was quite an almost like this, oh, oh, that's interesting. And being in that space of people who are on our path, who have not been the easiest to deal with, who have hurt us, when we step back enough to be able to see the fact that they've actually been part of our biggest teachers to us reclaiming our truth again.
Absolutely.
That's when it really kind of hit home for me yesterday. There's still a few people that are in my space that I haven't gotten there yet with them, but I'll get there. But this one particularly, because I speak to her twice a week, and all of a sudden it was just this, oh, thank you for being my teacher. Thank you for helping me stand in my truth.
That's awesome. Love it.
It is.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do have to go. I'm sorry. Got to run again. So thank you,
Well,
ladies. Love
enjoy.
you.
Love you. We'll talk next week.
Love you, Blair.
Okay. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye. Pam, I don't know if you
Yes,
want to
dear.
close us out.
It's gonna be a raw approach. Yes, I don't have the script in front of me. I'm telling my secrets now. Um, I want to thank all you ladies for this great conversation. I want to thank for those viewers who are watching this, and please leave your comments, leave any questions. If you feel the call to subscribe and share, please do so. As you can see, we love doing this and helping support people along the way. Remember, you are the love, you are the light, you are a work in progress, just like we have been. The circle will always be here for you to come back to. Please reach out to us if you're needing any support, and have a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you.
And yep, from sunny South Africa. It's been a beautiful day today. I want to wish everybody also a wonderful day, and I'm going to be going off to do my dinner. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of our world, and thanks for being the light that you carry out to those that you serve. Blessings in abundance.